at 7:03 p.m. and welcome everyone to this public meeting. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander person here this evening. It is my prayer that as elected representatives, we speak respectfully and consider the needs of all current and future residents, as well as the impacts on the environment in which we live. Tonight, I would appreciate it if everyone present in this room allows us to make decisions free of interjections so that we can make the best possible decisions for the community. In particular, I would like to call out a few rules and expectations. 1, we will have one person speaking at a time. 2, the public has a right to attend this meeting as an observer. 3, as per clause 5.31, this council meeting is being recorded and it is being made available live via the council website. Only councillors and staff will be shown on camera. 4, Clause 2.1 of the Code of Meeting Practice outlines a principle for all meeting attendees to treat each other with respect and to behave in a way that contributes to the orderly conduct of the meeting. 5, if any councillor would like to raise a point of order as per Clause 15.1 of the Code of Meeting Practice, I ask that they turn on their mic and say point of order. I will then pause the timer and allow the councillor to raise their concern before I rule on whether it is a valid point of order. 6, council may close part of the meeting to deal with certain confidential matters in accordance with Section 10A of the Local Government Act. These discussions will not be open to the public or the press and will not be webcast. So there are no apologies from councillors. Are there any apologies from staff?
Mr. Mayor, there are no apologies from staff.
Okay, and then are there any declarations from councillors? So Councillor Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a non-pecuniary, non-significant in GP 15. I worked for Anglicare, then known as the Anglican Retirement Villages, but I haven't had anything to do with it for 15 years.
Okay, so 15 years, long time ago. Will remain in the chamber. So next up, Councillor Spencer.
Thank you. So I have a non-pecuniary, insignificant interest to declare for GB14. One of the former owners is a friend of mine. I shall remain in chambers, thanks.
Right. And then Councillor Leonard.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The same gentleman that Councillor Spencer just mentioned is a long-standing friend of my father. He's a very friendly fellow. So I have the same non-material, non-pecuniary interest, and I too will remain in the chamber. Thank you.
All right. And are there any conflicts of interest declarations from staff?
Mr. Mayor, there are no declarations from staff. All
right. Are there any documents circulated in the councillors' papers to be dealt with at the appropriate time during the meeting?
There are, Mr. Mayor. There is a late agenda item, Merrill Minute 1, on housing policy updates, August 2024. There is also a late agenda item from staff, item C1, Todd Sepp, Land and Environment Court, New South Wales. There is a late confidential memo from the Mayor of today's date regarding the Todd Sepp. There is also a memorandum to the Mayor and Councillors from the Director Strategy and Environment, dated 12th of August, for GB 15 Planning Proposal 51 to 53 Raheny Street, Turramurra.
Okay. And are there any reports to be considered in a closed meeting and not released to the press and public?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, there is an attachment for GB12, which is a tender for leasing equipment at the Ku-ring-gai Fitness and Aquatic Centre, and there are also the items that I previously mentioned, item C1, a report from staff on the Todd Sepp, and a memo from the Mayor also relating to C1, the Todd set.
So I seek a motion for these to remain in confidential. All those in favour, that is unanimous. Right, can I please get a motion to confirm the minutes of the previous meeting held on 16th of July 2024, moved by Councillor Smith, seconded by Councillor Lennon on this occasion. All those in favour, that is unanimous. So we're up to Merrill minutes now, and I will read the one. Merrill Minute 1, Housing Policy Updates August 2024. This Merrill Minute provides an update on local activity regarding the state government's housing policies since the ordinary meeting of 16th of July. Transport-oriented development. As of 13th of May, landowners have been able to lodge development applications within the transport-oriented development precincts of Gordon, Killara, Linfield and Roseville, with heights ranging 22 to 24 metres and floor space ratio of 2.5 to 1. However, as of 13th of August, we have not received any development applications for TOD-related uplift in these precincts. We expect DAs for TOD-related uplift to start coming in the next few months. The reason why we have not yet received any DAs may be that it takes time to properly draw up the plans and commission the relevant studies. Legal action regarding TOD. The legal action with the New South Wales Government is ongoing and, as previously noted, would not have been necessary had the state government provided a deferred commencement to Ku-ring-gai on the same terms that it had offered to 12 other councils. With the cost of inaction being far greater than the cost of legal action, we proceed under legal advice to protect our ratepayers' financial interests. On the 19th of July, the Land and Environment Court issued directions that the New South Wales Government provide a response to the Council's summons by the 6th of September 2024, that the New South Wales Government and the Council engage in mediation by the 30th of September 2024, and that the legal proceedings be subject to further directions on the 4th of October 2024. Noting that the proposed timing of mediation is occurring in the absence of an elected council, Council may vote to provide guidance on mediation terms as part of confidential item C1. Before reaching any agreement, the General Manager will provide an update to the newly elected Council in October. It should also be noted that the court-ordered mediation may not have been necessary had the Planning Minister responded to any of the Mayor's previous calls for negotiation in good faith. And then the interim heritage order for heritage conservation areas within the TOD precincts. Council's request for an interim heritage order, as resolved in NM4 of the July Ordinary Meeting of Council, was sent to the Heritage Minister on Friday the 19th of July. An IHO has no practical effect until it is approved by the Heritage Minister and gazetted. The Heritage Minister can approve, refuse or make no decision on the IHO, and there is no timeline for the Minister to make a decision on the IHO under the Heritage Act. As of today, there has not been a response from the Heritage Minister on this matter. Then scenario analysis. To explore options for saving our HCAs and mitigating the impacts on our urban canopy, Council staff continue to prepare different scenarios for each TOD precinct, and these will be consulted with the public around November of this year for a decision in February. So the recommendation is that Council notes and receives this Merrill Minute. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this? If not, let's put it to a vote. So all those in favour of the Merrill Minute, they are Councillors Kay, Lennon, Smith, Wheatley, Taylor, Ward and Nye, and those against are Councillors Spencer and Pettit. So I declare that carried. Okay, so are there any petitions that have been received? Petitions? No? So I would now like to invite councillors to nominate any item on the agenda that they wish to have a site inspection for. Site inspections? Come on. No? Well, if you're really desperate to do one. Otherwise, we'll move on. Can I please ask a councillor to nominate...
Site inspection.
Okay, Councillor Pettit. No, okay. Can I please ask a councillor to nominate any items on the agenda that they wish to adopt in accordance with the officer's recommendation following for minor changes without debate? So, Councillor Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The items that I'd like to move is from GB1 to GB30.
Okay, GB1 to 13. Would anyone like to withdraw any of GB1 to 13? No? So that's moved by Councillor Ward, seconded by Councillor Lennon. All those in favour of GB1 to 13, that is, just checking, that is unanimous?
Plus GB16
So-
without debate.
Yep, GB16, seconded by Councillor Wheatley. All those in favour, that is unanimous. All right, anything else?
Move GB15 as per the Mayor's email on 13th of August around 3:10 p.m.
So it would be good if we can pull up the words for GB15 that I had sent, just so that we all know what we're talking about. So the background to this is the Director of Strategy sent a letter earlier today, adding to it extra points D and E. And what I've suggested is that points D and E become points A and B, and point C be amended slightly to reflect that. So can everyone see GB 15 here? That has been moved without debate by Councillor Ward, seconded by Councillor Spencer. Would anyone like to withdraw it before? No? Okay, so we'll put this to a vote. All those in favour, that, just want to check that Councillor K is comfortable. Yeah, we'll give Councillor K some time just to... Okay, that is unanimous. Right, so GB 15's done. So outstanding are NM1, NM2, C1 and GB 14. Councillor Ward, your light's still on? Oh, off now? Off. Councillor Lennon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move without debate item NM2.
Okay, NM2 moved by Councillor Lennon, seconded by Councillor Ward. All those in favour? That is Councillors K, Spencer, Lennon, Smith, Wheatley, Taylor, Ward and I, and against is Councillor Pettit. So I declare that carried. And then Councillor K?
Can I move NM1 Mona Vale to Macquarie Park priority bus infrastructure without debate?
Okay, and that is seconded by Councillor Spencer. And all those in favour of NM1, that is unanimous. Cool. I would like, Councillor Greg Taylor, no? I would like to move C1, that in relation to the matters in this report, C1, Council endorses the content of the Mayor's late confidential memo dated 13th of August 2024, a copy of which is initialled at the meeting by the Mayor. So that's seconded by Councillor Wheatley. Anyone want to withdraw it? Otherwise, we'll put it to a vote. All those in favour, that is Councillors K, Lennon, Smith, Wheatley, Taylor, Ward and I. And those against are Councillors Spencer and Pettit. So I declare that carried. Now, we have one item left, GB 14. Councillor Greg Taylor.
I'd like to produce an amendment or motion for this item.
Okay, so show us the motion, and then if we all want to vote on it without debate, we can do it. Otherwise, someone can withdraw. So, can we put it on two screens somehow?
So the changes to the recommendation are in bold. Do I need a second at this stage?
Yeah, sure. A seconded by Councillor Alec Taylor. Yeah, please read it out for us.
So I'll read it all. Council resolve that following amendment as outlined above and subject to A and B below, the planning proposal be submitted to the Department of Planning, Housing and Infrastructure for a gateway determination. So this next point is the change that I've made. Prior to submitting the planning proposal for a gateway determination, the planning proposal is amended by the proponent to address the following. Prepares an amendment reference scheme and a feasibility assessment for a new accessible community space within the development of up to 400 square metres to be provided in perpetuity and dedicated to council. The assessment and plans should align with Ku-ring-gai Council's adopted policies and plans for new community facilities. Second part of that point, to prepare an affordable housing viability report to clarify the housing affordability rates, including floor space and number of units to be provided in perpetuity, and method of management to confirm and support the offer made by the proponent within the planning proposal. The assessment should align with the Greater Sydney Region Plan and North District Plan requirements for new residential floor space to deliver 5 to 10% affordable housing subject to viability. The third point, C, is submission for council consideration of a revised public benefit letter of offer, clearly outlining those matters to be dealt with in the context of a prospective land transaction, as opposed to those to be addressed in the context of works, dedications, and other benefits. A little wordy there. And the following D and E are the same as the recommendation. Just discussing the community consultation and that proponent made aware of the changes.
So what's happening at the moment is we have this move by Councillor Greg Taylor, seconded by Councillor Alec Taylor, to be moved without debate. Now, if anyone wants to debate it, please withdraw it right now. Otherwise, we'll just put it to a vote. We'll just put it to a vote then. So all those, oh, that's dangerous. I would like to foreshadow this in case it fails. Okay, so let's move this. All those in favour of what is up on the screen, please raise your hand. And that is Councillors Kay, Lennon, Smith, Wheatley, Taylor, Ward and Nye, and those against are Councillors Spencer and Pettit. So I declare that carried. So as far as I understand, that is all the agenda items. I'll just double check with the General Manager.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, that's it.
All right. Okay, we are now up to business without notice. So is there any business without notice? Subject to clause 9.3 of the Code of Meeting Practice. No? Let's move up to questions with notice. There are no questions with notice. There are no site inspections. Confidential matters are dealt with. So now we're up to end of term thanks and, end of term thanks. So look, it's been a great nearly 3 years at council. I am genuine in saying this. I believe that this council term we've had, on the whole, 10 councillors that are better than the previous council term from 2017 to 2021. And I do appreciate Mayor Pettit. Like, for 2 years he held a steady ship. I have a great deal of respect for Mayor Pettit at the time. I'd like to thank the councillors for their support. I'd like to thank staff for their hard work, and especially in the last year we've had a lot of improvement. So look, I look forward to the upcoming election campaign. I hope you all get re-elected, because it's been a great fun time, but we'll just see what happens. Would anyone like to speak as well? Councillor Greg Taylor.
Just to add to that, to thank the gallery for committing to coming every month and trying to better to lead this area. So thanks to you guys as well.
Okay, yeah, sure. So Councillor Lennon, would you like to say something?
I'd just like to echo what Councillor Greg Taylor just said, and not simply because my wife and little son are in the gallery behind us, but people like Carol and Michael who come along month after month. This is a two-way process, as I was saying to Michael last week. representative democracy depends upon an active constituency. And every resident who comes along, who contributes by email and telephone to the elected representatives, who makes submissions to council, you all contribute to good governance. So thank you all. And everyone who's watching on YouTube, thank you for your interest. Thank you.
Now, Councillor Ward.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. In the spirit of thanking everybody, I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank my fellow councillors for their dedication and commitment for our community. I look forward to all of us returning to have continue to have the good fight for the greater good. So thank you all. And to the staff, what can I say but feel a great sense of gratitude for their hard work and support for each one of us and for the community. As a new councillor, they make me feel very welcome. So thank you very much. Can I also say, Mr. Mayor, my sincere thanks to former Mayor Pettit, who took us through a 18-month period, and it was a great time. Can I also thank you, Mr. Mayor, particularly for your leadership and forbearance in relation to Todd-orientated development, fondly known as Todd. You kept the councillors, staff and community informed, calm and navigated us through a challenging time. You've made a positive impact. Thank you. It's been a privilege to work with you.
Right, sure. Now keep talks short. Councillor Kay.
It's just a quick thank you, but especially to the staff and just to you, Mayor Nye. I just probably beg to differ a little bit that this term was better than last term. I think that may be a matter of opinion, but thank you for your leadership. Thank you.
Sure. Councillor Spencer.
Oh, thank you. I truly enjoyed working with the two mayors and the new general manager. Thank you very much for making those changes. Although they are different, but they are very similar. One flip-flops, the other argue for both sides. Thank you.
Councillor Pettit.
Geez, you think you're going to get away with that, sunshine? Seriously, you better heading off to Weight Watchers, that'll get a bigger shirt. To our staff, and I've known many of you for over a decade now, and we've all got a little bit older, not necessarily wiser, as they say. That's me, not necessarily the staff. To Michael, to Andrew, to Janice. It's been a long 12 years, hasn't it? From my perspective, I've certainly seen a lot of things come and go. Yeah, to the speech, why not? Get your money's worth. You may not be able to hear me next month anyway, who knows? I'm sure some of you will be so upset with that. Anywho, and to the newer staff who've had to endure councillors, and they have to endure a new council each few years, and it is a very big challenge for them to educate newbies, deal with the old hands, and actually steer this council along. And it is a very well-performing council. Won multiple awards over many, many years. And that's also a credit to the staff and to our senior staff. We've had a very stable ship at the top of the tree. Bit of a mixed metaphor there, isn't it? Unfortunately. But it's true. I can take it myself, it's all right. You've had to put up with a lot, and hopefully you guys will still be around for another year or a few years into the next term, because we do have some challenging times coming up for this area. So thank you all.
Councillor Wheatley.
Again, thank you to all. Being a first-time councillor, every single one of you here made me feel extremely welcome. And to all the councillors, thank you as well, and for the older ones, as in the ones who've been here in the term. Not the older ones as in you're older, because I'm one of the younger ones. Just say that. And older standing, thanks for your, longer standing, thanks for your advice. And also to Sean and to Alex at the back there who here every month to look after us, appreciate it, and thank you. Hopefully we'll all be back in and we'll be back in the same chairs in a couple of months' time. Thanks.
Councillor Alec Taylor.
Thank you. I wasn't going to say anything, but everybody else did, so I feel I should. And so by gee willikers, I'm going to. I just wanted to say thank you also.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. Gee willikers is my term.
Was that an act of disorder? I just wanted to say sincerely thank you to all of my fellow councillors and also the staff in particular, and also particularly as a newbie, as a fellow newbie, for your patience and help, as it is a very steep learning curve, and there's a lot to do and a lot to learn, and I appreciated everything. And it's been a great 2.5 years, and I hope to see you on the other side. Thank you.
Councillor Smith.
Mr Mayor, Councillor Alec Taylor just called me out because he said he was the last councillor that hadn't spoken. So I'm going to be the last one that has spoken. I'd just like to, first of all, thank the Ku-ring-gai residents for electing us to be here and to actually have the faith to do what we've done. We've done what we can do. We've debated, we've argued, we've disagreed, and hopefully we've made the right decisions for the community as what they see fit. I think it's important to recognise the staff. There's some staff here that have actually shown some great leadership, and I think that is something that will do very well with the next council moving forward. So I do really congratulate you guys for that and appreciate the efforts and everything that you've got to go through with it. I'd also like to thank the fellow councillors here this evening. I know many of them have probably got some bad stories to say about me, but hopefully they've got some good ones as well. Thank you.
And then the General Manager would like to say something as well.
Oh, well, thank you, Mayor and councillors. Thank you for your support for the staff and for the organisation as a whole. As staff, we get to see how hard you work. It's an extremely challenging role being a councillor. Most people in the community would not understand what you have to balance up, come to meetings all the time, late nights, challenging issues that you have to balance and attend council meetings and make tough decisions on. And this term we've had some big decisions and we're in some challenging circumstances as we speak, but you've had to face those decisions and we thank you for that. Thank you for representing the community and for supporting us as an organisation, and we wish you all well.
All right, so there being no further business, I would like to thank councillors and staff. I would also like to thank members of the public for their attendance. The webcast of this meeting will be available on the council website and minutes will be published within the next 2 working days. I declare the meeting closed at 7:30 p.m.